That in the kind of timeless 40s world. If anything, we're probably going to lean into that even more in terms of authentic clothes and hairstyles and hats and vehicles and architecture. The way we deal with the characters is going to be quite a bit more modern in terms of inclusivity, representation, things like that.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at some Batman Caped Crusader news that just broke. Or not really news, but just some photos, some information about the show coming out. If you may have been on this channel before, I've talked about this show a couple times, at least 2 or 3 times. We've talked about this video. And it's no secret that I do not have much hope for this show, just because in this day and age, it's really hard to have hope for any of these superhero shows, because they're going to get probably overrun by things that are not anything to do with superheroes. But let's take a look at the photos and let's see what we can see. Batman Caped Crusader first look. It's going to be coming out in August on Prime Video. Don't have Prime Video, so another reason I wouldn't probably watch it. But here we go. Let's just look at this first picture of Batman. And this is about what I was expecting from this, because we have Batman in his classic like first appearance type look with the gloves, the long ears, and all that stuff. That's what I was expecting. This show was promised to be set in the 40s. It was promised to be kind of in that time and era, even though Batman the Animated Series kind of hinted that it was in the past, but it was kind of a mixture of future and past kind of combined into one to make this kind of stylized Gotham. But now this is really set in the 40s, and it's going to be kind of focusing on Golden Age Batman. So sure, that's really cool. It's a cool concept. But once we go down and look at some of these other pictures, and here we go. First up, we have Harley Quinn, or at least what they're passing off as Harley Quinn. Now, Harley Quinn obviously debuted in Batman the Animated Series, so it makes sense that people working on the show who worked on those original shows would want to bring her back. Whether you like her or hate her, she has gained popularity in recent years, even though a lot of people feel this kind of tired out the character. It's not really quite the same Harley Quinn that we saw back in the 90s. But anyway, we're not even getting that Harley Quinn. We're getting this person who is supposed to be Harley Quinn. It's this Asian psychologist, psychiatrist lady who is going to be Harley Quinn now. So obviously, wrong ethnicity, wrong hair color, not Harley Quinn. It's a stand-in for Harley Quinn, because, we can't have characters look like themselves. That wouldn't be politically correct. So let's change them. All right, so there's the first one. There's one. Then we come down. Oh, who's this guy? Is that Lucius Fox? Wow, Lucius Fox is in the show. Oh, no, wait, that's not Lucius Fox. That's Jim Gordon, Commissioner Gordon. So much like in the Batman movie, Commissioner Gordon has been race swapped. So there we go, right there off the bat, 2 race swaps, right at the thing. And this is kind of what we were talking about if you look back at some of our older videos talking about this show, even 2 years ago when they first announced it. We heard Bruce Timm talk about how they were going for all these stuff in the 40s, but it was going to represent the world of today. It was going to be diverse and inclusive. And like usual, we say, sure, fine. Have some diversity and inclusion. Obviously, it's the 40s, so it's going to be a different time period. If you actually want to represent the time period, it's not going to look exactly like it does in 2024. But nevertheless, if you had them, that's one thing. But you're taking characters, pre-established characters that have been in the comics and now coming on 80 years, Harley Quinn specifically, more like 30 years, and you're changing them. You're not even, and apparently Harley Quinn's not even going to act like Harley Quinn. She's going to be kind of flipped, where she's going to be more serious, and I don't know, I got serial killer vibes from what they were describing her as being, this kind of scary Harley Quinn when she becomes Harley Quinn, but then she's more bubbly and fun, like you would expect from Harley Quinn when she's in her civilian identity anyway. So anyway, they're taking the characters, they're changing them from their core, they're changing them from their beyond recognition to these characters that they want because they want to be inclusive. And it's like they always put this over the story. And then people gripe at you for complaining, saying you're just a racist, you hate women, or whatever. It could be anything. They can throw in any kind of identity you want into this, and they would call you something for it. But This is not the characters, and that's all we ask for is focus on the story, make the characters as accurate as possible to the comics. Take from the comics and build upon them. You don't have to adapt it one for one, even though I personally don't have a problem with them adapting things one for one. But if they're going to make their own stories, make them that honor the source material, build upon it. But the core of the characters and the look of the characters need to stay the same. And that's what they don't realize. They always put these kind of social, political types of agendas that they push by doing these things. And it's like you could have characters that represent these other races or genders or whatnot, but you can't make it overshadow the story. People are getting so tired of this. And we're seeing it now. We haven't even gotten a trailer. We haven't got anything. This is kind of the first news of this that's broken in a while. And it's kind of showing these first look to try to get people excited because it's coming out in a couple months. And all this did is just kind of confirm what I was feeling from the beginning. But let's look at some of the other pictures and just see what's going on here. We get some Clayface and Catwoman from Golden Age looks, which that's cool. I liked it that they're leaning into the Golden Age. At least with these couple characters, it looks like they did pretty good. So I'm not having a problem with that. And then we get a shot of Batman and Selena Kyle in their civilian identities. Nothing wrong with those. So, for the most part, aside from these few pictures, it looked cool. I was like, okay, the animation looks pretty cool. It's kind of Batman the Animated Series-esque, but it's still got a different feel to it. I like the fact that it was going to be in the 40s and it's going to kind of focus on the pre-technology. It's not going to be a big shared universe with all the Justice League. It's going to be kind of focused on Gotham and Batman and kind of what happened in that time period. But then it just kind of takes you out of it when you just know what's behind these characters. It's not natural. It's not even like some people make the argument in a live action sense that you say, okay, this person's a really good actor. They can really nail the character. It'll be better if they play this. I disagree still because I feel like the right person for the job would be someone who actually looks like the character as well as being able to portray the character correctly. But you can't even make any of that argument in animation. It is purposefully done. And this even makes me come back to the recent Crisis on Infinite Earths movie that came out. I just watched it recently, and the whole time it's kind of focused on Flash. So I didn't think that it was that great. It's kind of like DC animation has definitely gone downhill, especially when they used to be, their animated movies were some of their best stuff they were putting out. But they race swapped Iris in that as well, much like they did in the TV show, the live action TV show. And they're kind of changing her into, now she's a black woman. So that was like all I could see the whole time. I was like kind of like rolling my eyes like, oh, seriously, they're doing this like in an animated show too. And then they're doing it in this, like, it's just, we just want to see the comic books. Like, you're not really adapting the comic books if you're changing everything from the comic books. You're just taking a loose idea and making it into something completely different. And if you're going to do that, then fine, just make it something completely different. Like if they just took the Batman part, made some superhero in the 40s, whatever, you're making your own thing, but you're taking a pre-established franchise and you have to respect the franchise. And the show could be good despite this, but it makes me think, knowing that they put this at the forefront of their thoughts, that that's also going to leak into the story. Now we can take a cue from X-Men 97. I have not watched it. I was very against the idea of the show because the MCU is and Marvel Studios is kind of behind it. So I obviously had a lot of distrust and been burned a lot in that area of the MCU and Marvel Studios and whatnot. But I've heard from people that it's actually pretty good. They've enjoyed it. It's not really got all this extra stuff shoved into it. Granted, I have still seen some things from clips and obviously all the morph stuff that came out before the show and the creators stuff they've said, that obviously there's still elements in there. But like I said, I haven't watched it, so I can't really comment on it completely, how it went, because I haven't seen but just some clips of some of it. But, so a show could turn out good, but it's just like at this point, you just turned your audience off because I don't even really care to watch it. I don't have Disney Plus, and I don't really want to go like seek out this show because of that. Maybe I will someday. I don't know. We'll hear. I don't know if the final episodes come out yet, but we'll find out. But anyway, I have heard people like the show, so I'm glad that some people liked it. But this one looks like it is definitely not going to hide from this kind of identity politic type of stuff. They've purposely gone out of their way to race swap these characters. They said that they were going out of the way to race swap these characters. The people making the show, such as J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, they have a track record of doing this to their characters and changing things. Just look at J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, Star Wars type movies, and you can see that they have that track record. And Matt Reeves obviously did the same thing in his Batman movie. He race swapped Catwoman. He race swapped Commissioner Gordon. So obviously, even though a lot of people enjoyed those movies and I didn't hate the movies myself, it's obviously a distraction and it's not true to the characters. So it's very important that characters look the same way. Like, I even have arguments when they get the hair color wrong. Trust me, people that know me, we've had a lot of arguments about hair color, specifically the Flash. Comment down below, does the Flash have blonde hair or brown hair? I want to know that he has brown hair. Obviously, I think everyone can tell that, but I want to know what you guys think about that, so let me know about that. And also let me know about X-Men. I'm curious what you guys thought about that as well. But anyway, that's been Batman Caped Crusader first look. Like I said, it was a very cool concept, and I would have loved for it to pan out, because obviously a Batman show would be really cool to watch, considering Batman the Animated Series is my all-time favorite series. But just knowing what I know, I'm probably going to pass on this unless I hear something that completely changes my mind. But it's not looking that way right now. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.